Okay, so we're looking at tech assignment B. All right, so we start off the same way that we started off the last tech assignment. We go to geogebra.org/groups, go to My Groups. That's me. Click on the class. In this case, we're Calc 2 Summer 2019. And in this case, we're working on the slope fields and differential equations. This is going to be a short video because there isn't much to really explain. So you click on the little notebook, and it brings you to the applet. And all you're really doing is exploring different types of differential equations. I mean, you could read through the little preamble here, but you're going to explore different differential equations and then come up with the solutions. And then using those solutions, you'll be able to answer the questions. The idea being that each one of the questions corresponds to one of the equations in the try the following section. All right. So for the first one, well, it's actually not set up for the first one. So what I would want to do is type in y prime equals y over x. So the y prime is already built in. So I'm just going to click in the field and change the x to a y and the y to an x, and then hit enter. All right. So what you're creating here is a slope field. All right. And so that slope field represents just the general trends of the solution to the differential equation. So every differential equation, when you solve it, if it's in its general form, would have some c value, some plus c at the end. Right? And so this accounts for all possible solutions to the differential equation. All right? And so depending on where your point lies, so if you're given a condition, so we talked about initial conditions back in the first unit, if you're given a condition, it would necessarily follow a particular path. All right? So in this case, we're looking at the coordinate 0, 2. But what if I move that point? So I click on the red and just drag it somewhere else. You start thinking about what kind of function you end up with once you start playing around with that point, that initial condition. So if I'm at the coordinate 20, 4, I end up with this particular solution rather than a general solution. All right, so the slope field gives us a sense of all possible general solutions, but the black, I don't want to say what it is because that's the subject of the first question. The black function is going to give us a sense of the particular solution. All right, so then the second question is asking what's the particular solution to this differential equation, negative y over x. So I just go back in here and pop in and just go hit my left arrow, type in a negative sign, negative y over x, hit enter. All right, it automatically manipulates it for us. And then you see they're giving us the coordinate 1, -1. I'm not going to drag us there, but I'll just show you that you could just drag this into the neighborhood of 1, -1. You see I'm at 1, 1, for example, at this point. So x value 1, y value of 1. I need this to be an x value of 1, a y value of -1. All right, so once I do that, it'll give me the solution. So then all I have to do is type in the solution. You don't have to type it in any kind of fancy way. Just type it in a way that makes sense. There's a way to type it in using the function feature, but sometimes that's more trouble than it's worth. So, just use a slash for division, use a caret for an exponent if that comes up, an apostrophe for a prime. I think that's probably the best way to go, just to kind of maintain some sanity, right? And so the rest of the problems are along those lines. Number 5 is not one of the ones in the try the following section because you're going to create that graph on your own and come up with the general solution to the differential equation. Now understand that this solution is always going to give you a particular solution. So you'll have to really think about the difference between what you're getting here and what it ought to be in a C format. There should be a plus C or a product of C in there somewhere. All right, so something to consider. But that's the essence of this particular assignment. It's much more straightforward in terms of the applet than the previous one because there's less ways for you to mess it up. All right, so hopefully you'll have a little bit more fun with this one.